Hey guys, it's Julie. I'm doing something different tonight. I'm shooting a video at night. I just felt like I had to get this video out. This is actually for my friend Jacqueline, who is a friend of a friend that I met while traveling solo in Costa Rica, actually. I met her in Canada, and now Jacqueline's overseas. And she reached out to me because she wanted help planning a trip and has not done solo travel before. So I decided to just go ahead and make a video because this might benefit other people out there too who are thinking about solo travel for the first time. Basically, she asked me, how do you start to plan for a trip like this? Where do you even start? So I kind of want to talk about my methods, but I do have to preface this by saying I am a famous unplanner. I do not like schedules. I do not like itineraries. I don't like anything set in stone. That's because I love to go with the flow. I love to have things organically play out. And that's because that's from experience. I've changed my mind. I've decided I don't want to go over there. I want to go over here. I miss a train, either unforeseen circumstances or I just don't want to do that anymore. And I've found that if I give myself as much flexibility as possible, I am happier. I always get to do what I want to do, and I'm much less at risk. But still, while I may be an unplanner, I am still a learner. I don't go totally blind. So what do I mean by learning? And again, learning is different than planning. So let's be hypothetical. Julie books a trip. This happens a lot. It's usually maybe 1 or 2 months in advance. I'm a little bit last minute usually. Ask myself, what does this place have to offer? The easiest and quickest way to find out is to bring up your phone, open up Google Maps, and navigate to that place. Google Maps is very handy. It has little icons when you hover over or tap on certain places. There are some with like little photographs, which means it is a scenic spot. There are other symbols for different types of attractions. Google's already done a lot of that work, so you know what's there, what's in this area. And I'm a very visual learner, so I love the map view. So there, I can hover over something, I can tap it, I can see a picture, thumbnail, I can get a brief description, and you know what I do is right then and there, I am tapping on things and I'm adding them to my list. So I flag that, and there it is, it's on my map, and I'm already formulating a list of what I wanna see when I get to that place. The next thing I do is I open up another app I have called Google Trips. There are different parts to the app, like things you need to know, top spots, day trips. Basically, it's a one-stop shop by Google for lots of details about your destination. Pro tip, download offline your destination so that you can look at it when you don't get cell service. So where do I decide to stay? Now that I've got a bunch of flags on my map, I have a general idea of where I want to be. So I don't want to be too far from that. There are some things that you might want to consider about being right in the thick of things, right in, primetime tourist area. So normally I am somewhere around the periphery. Usually I will book the first night of my stay so that at least I have a place to crash when I get there, and then maybe switch places after a day or two, once I've gotten the lay of the land and I get a feeling for the neighborhood that I want to be in. Another thing that obviously determines where I stay the first night is reviews, ratings, descriptions, amenities, and so on. So one of the apps I use a lot is Hostelworld. I also use Hotwire if I am looking for a hotel, and ratings and reviews play a big role, so that helps make a decision on where am I gonna stay once I get to town. Pro tip, once you've picked your place, add it to your list of Google locations so that you know exactly where you're supposed to go when you get in. Okay, what's next? I've got a very high level now of what I wanna go and where I wanna be and what the whole place is about. I want a little bit more detail, so I will go ahead and open up Kindle and download a travel book on the place. I really like Lonely Planet. It comes with my Kindle Unlimited. These travel books, super comprehensive, super detailed. They're another great resource, and obviously download it offline so that you can look at it later, and then continue to highlight and flag places that are of interest to you. Next, one of the main things I think you really need to make sure you do research on public transportation, because that's the first thing you're gonna do when you get there. After I've identified some carriers, I look at the App Store to see if they have any apps, whether I'm traveling on bus or rail or metro, whatever. Lots of times, of course, in the modern age, there are apps with timetables, ways to book, you can connect to your credit card, you can keep your boarding pass on your phone. All those nifty things that we kind of forget about are possible. So go ahead, check the App Store, and then you're prepared with some of that information when you do get to town and you need to figure out, how do I get from the airport to the hostel, or how do I get from this city to that city? Another thing I do is, if it's a different language, if I do not know that language, then I look up Google Translate, another app you should download. In Google Translate, you can go ahead and download different languages, and they're stored on your phone. And the super nifty thing that you can do is, if you see a sign in a different language, you can take a photo of it, and it translates it for you live. So really, that is it. That's kind of as much research as I do. I get my first night booked, I have a good understanding of the transportation situation, and I know the places I want to go to. I have that list. What this does is it leaves me room for when I get there, if through word of mouth, through the people that I meet, through whatever situation that arises, if somehow I decide to go south instead of north, then guess what? I haven't already paid for this. I am free to do what I want and make changes on the fly, which I love and I think is such a cool thing. Please give it a try, Jacqueline. See if you enjoy it. Do not lock yourself in to a schedule, because you will have room for spontaneity, and that's really, really special. I hope this is helpful. Please let me know, and for anyone else who is thinking of diving into that solo travel and you are thinking about adopting my very little planning / unplanning tactic, let me know how it goes. Give it a try, and please give me your feedback. Thanks so much for watching. I would love it if you would subscribe down here and watch my next video, which is up here. Thanks so much, guys. Jacqueline, have a great time in Scotland. Toodles, I don't know what they say there, so I'll just revert to the American goodbye.